Hi, this is Mr. Biz. I hope everyone is safe during this time. Ms. Flores said it best. We really do miss you, and I am so proud of my colleagues in the PE Health Department and my colleagues here at the Lockwood School District. But uh, for everyone to work together and try to give you the best educational experience during this time with this distant learning, it's amazing. It is really cool. And again, with my three other colleagues, Ms. Simeon, Mrs. Flores, and Mr. Hanson, for what we're going to try to accomplish in the next few weeks, I think is I'm really proud that I get to work alongside these individuals. So, as you know, on Tuesdays is my job is to provide a health lesson on Tuesdays, and we're going to cover a unit. And every Tuesday, we're going to have an assignment for you, a lesson. Um, the first unit that we're going to cover is called physical fitness. We're going to look at the components of physical fitness, which is our first lesson for today. We're going to look at how exercise and diet affect fitness. We're going to look at the benefits of exercise. We're going to look at injury and recovery, fitness goals, and so we got kind of a neat few weeks here with health, at least with me. I know the other teachers are working really hard to give you guys a really neat experience, so I'm pretty excited to see how this next few weeks turns out. For those who've been in my classes, it's really not going to be much different than what you've done, other than like a video recording to me. And hopefully this is going to be the longest video that I do, because one thing I've noticed over the course of me trying to make this video is I do have a time limit, so I'm going to kind of have to rush through my presentation, and again, I do apologize. But for those who have never taken my class before, you're going to be given a reading material. You're going to be given slides. We'll have a video, and then you're going to have your homework assignment. Everything is done online. All you have to do is just use your resources and submit your name and what period you're in, and you're able to submit your assignment that way. And again, at any time, if you, like, let's say today you get a 60%, and I'm just saying, maybe you didn't understand the question, please don't feel like you have to settle for that score. You have a week, so by all means, retake the assignment. Every assignment that gets done, you should be able to see which question you got wrong. So again, those are the areas that you want to focus on. And if it means you having to do the same assignment 2 or 3 times to get 100% or an A, by all means do it. If you want to work with a partner, man, I have no problems doing that either. I don't care if you work with a partner. I just care if one partner does all the work. Okay, so again, find someone that's willing to work with you. Man, that'd be great. I really do look forward to seeing how this all plays out in the next few weeks. So for those who have never done my class, relax. It's not going to be so hard. And if you have any questions, please contact me or your teacher, and we'll definitely help you to get through this and navigate these waters as we go. So hopefully this is a great experience for you guys as well too. So on Tuesdays, like I said, I'll be covering a new unit. Today we're going to look at the unit that we're going to cover is called physical fitness. The first lesson is called components of physical fitness. And now there are actually 5 components that we're going to look at today. And each 5, there's not one better than the other. They're all important. So again, please understand that when we're looking at that it's pretty kind of a neat thing how our body is set up. And let me sorry, I don't know what I did there. All right, the ability to do everyday tasks without becoming short of breath or sore or tired is called physical fitness. Again, for us to build on our fitness, we have to look at each of these 5 components and see how they play into our fitness goals. Okay, the first one we want to look at is muscular strength. That's the amount of force that muscles apply when they're being used. So if I'm on the bench press, and we all went down to the fitness room, and I have the bench press and I have a bar here, and I lift up, well, that's muscular strength, the amount of weight that I can lift. Okay. Now, muscular endurance is muscular endurance is the same as muscular strength, but muscular strength is giving me the ability to lift something heavy. Muscular endurance is the ability for me to move that same motion, same movement over and over again. So very similar but different. Muscular strength lets me lift something heavy. Muscular endurance lets me lift it over and over again. Okay, and I do apologize again. I'm kind of flying through this presentation, but again, with the time constraints, I want to make sure that we'll get through this. Cardiorespiratory endurance is the ability of our heart and lungs to work efficiently during physical activity. So anytime we do like running, jogging, playing games, cycling, skiing, that all helps our cardiorespiratory endurance. So if we all, as 4 teachers, we took all of our students out to the track, let's just say we're in school, and we all went down to the track tomorrow, and we said, hey, we're going to run the mile. Okay. Now we just come from a long winter break. Some of you haven't played sports. Some of us have just taken it easy the last few months. If we were to test ourselves in a mile now, we know that there would be some kids that really struggle with it. Some would start off strong and finish, maybe they'll have to walk. Other kids I know will get through that mile, no problem. But again, if we were to continue doing that, so every day, each of the 4 teachers said, man, we're going to build on this. Maybe the next day we're going to do this. And every day that you come into class, we have some sort of activity that's all geared around strengthening your cardiorespiratory endurance. So let's say after a month, and we've been doing a bunch of running and jogging, just doing a lot of stuff that helps us. After a month, we say, okay, let's time ourselves in a mile. You're going to see a noticeable change because we have built up the ability of our heart and lungs to work. So it's actually really kind of cool how our bodies, it's such a cool machine. The harder we work, the more our bodies get stronger, So same thing with running and jogging. The more we can jog and run, our bodies actually will respond positively. Now, sitting here, I'm just chilling here, and I'm at rest. So if I wanted to take my heart rate, and you guys can do this at home as well, if you want to sit at home and time for a minute and keep count how many times your heart beats, well, that's what we call our resting heart rate. Okay. Now, if I was to find out my resting heart rate, and I ran out and I did a mile, and I came back in after I'm done with the mile, and I checked my heart rate, you would notice that my heart is beating faster. I'll have more pumps per minute. Okay. Now, how long it takes us to get back to where we were at resting heart rate is what we call our recovery time. Now, this is kind of cool because especially if you play in sports, you'll know that the coach is always having you guys that first couple of days, he's running you. He's making sure that that you're building that up. Why? Because let's say you guys are you're now playing games and you're running around, and say you're playing basketball, you're running around and you start to get tired. The coaches recognize it. He pulls you out. You sit down on the bench. You take a drink of water, and you start to feel like you're ready to go back in. Well, that's your recovery time. That lets you know the faster that your recovery time, the faster that your heart can get back to that resting heart rate. That shows you how good of a shape you are. So again, some people, all they need is that quick break and they're ready to get back into it. Some people may need a little bit longer. They may need a minute or 2 minutes. But the fact is, we can really determine how good of a shape we're in by what our recovery time is. Flexibility. If I was to move my fingers and hands and arms, okay, flexibility is the ability to use our joints easily. Now, how flexible a joint depends on the bones of the joint. So obviously, we can do this. Again, that each place where we have movement is a joint. Okay, and it depends on 3 types of soft tissue. Now this is actually a homework assignment question, but the 3 types of soft tissue is muscles, tendons, and ligaments. And I just kind of want to go through that real quick. Again, I don't want to go through and spend too much time because I'm looking at the time here. But, just like with muscular strength, we can build upon our flexibility as well. And the more flexible we are, the more, how do I say that? The more you're going to get out of your body. That's why with PE, we're always starting the day off by stretching. We're always kind of taking that time and stretching because it really does help you. Okay. Body composition is pretty simple. It compares the weight of fat in our body to the weight of the bones, muscles, and organs. Okay, so let's say you look at two different people, and they look pretty similar, and you tested their body composition, and you see one individual, their body fat composition is let's say at a 21%, and you see another person at a 14%. Well, the one with the higher body composition may be more at risk for like heart disease, diabetes, obesity. The one with the lower body composition, that means the less body fat, it means they're actually in good shape. Now, there's actually those individuals that have dangerously low body composition. And I should, as when I was in high school, when I was in wrestling, man, it was, we had to learn about that. We had to understand I'm so glad now that they don't let wrestlers lose as much as they used to in the past. But our body composition really makes up who we are. Again, so there are tests out there that can really show you what your body composition is. And the more that you understand what your body looks like, the more you can take steps to improve on it. It also makes the heart and lungs work harder. So if I was to work on my muscular strength and work on my muscular endurance and flexibility and my cardiorespiratory endurance, if I was to take a body composition test and see what my overall, how much fat I have in my system, my body, and then I just really hit it hard with exercise, a plan of, let's say I'm lifting and running and working. Well, after a few months or a year, and I wanted to check my body composition, and I was eating right and doing what I can, my body composition should be actually improved. Okay. So it is actually pretty neat. So we've talked about muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, cardiorespiratory endurance, and body composition. Each of those are the 5 components of physical fitness. Again, I really hope you guys are safe during this time, and I thank you guys, and I hope this was beneficial. All right, take care and stay safe.